Well, after 5 years after my surgery, my coda equina surgery, I have blown my back out again. Great times. And it was astonishing, the sheer amount of pain that I went in, and it's taken me out of work for a full week. So on a Sunday, I went to the gym. Didn't do much of a workout. Went on the cycling machine for a wee while. So, not really feeling it. Wasn't lifting any heavy weights. Went down to pick up my phone, the phone which I'm recording this on just now. Let's just bend down, not thinking of anything, and then electric shock right up my spine, and all around my back area there. So crippled me, fell straight down to the ground in the gym floor, and then lay there thinking, this isn't good, this is not good, and was quickly analysing whether this was, is there pain going down the leg, is there sciatica pain, what's going on here. The gym manager came in and he's like, you just having a rest on the floor here. I was like, no, I'm in a lot of pain. Couldn't stand up, couldn't walk anywhere. Had to get the manager to go pick up my my stuff from the locker to put it in my bag, and him and another member of the gym had to carry me back out to my car, where I then very slowly drove home, holding on to everything, and just thinking, oh my god, what is this? Thinking it's just a strain, it's just a spasm. I can deal with that. Happy days. It's not sciatica. That's what I was thinking. So I got home, went to bed, went on and got the hot water bottle on, and the Shakti mat, the spiky mats that you get to increase blood flow around the area. Took some ibuprofen, 600 milligrams, 3 of those little kind of 200 milligram pills, and thought, right, give it a little rest, see how it goes. 2 hours later, I'm like, oh yeah, I can almost get up and I can almost move. I'll go give myself a warm shower. Managed to hobble. When I got first to the house, I couldn't get out the car. I drove home, and my wee boy had to come into the car, and he had to lift my legs out, and I had to hold on to him and the car, and I was waddling in sheer agony. And then tried to sit in the house, and just excruciating pain. And couldn't sit, couldn't stand, couldn't roll over, couldn't move, just completely incapacitated. So went upstairs, rested, hot shower, and then I thought, okay, yeah, I can walk to the shower, I can have a hot shower. Okay, this is a strain, no problem, I'll get over it, no problem. And it's feeling good. I thought, hold on, got a little bit of work to do on a Sunday. I'll go finish a floor plan for my work. So I went, sat at the computer and did some editing. I thought, that's good. And then afterwards, I thought, I'll just do some stretching of the back. So I did some lying on my front, and then try to get up, and then pain unlike I've ever experienced again. So a second, I think this might have been the third, maybe, spasm in the back, all in the lower back there, and it's just everything just going, just bah, and there's no way to get away from it. So I was on all fours, and I was like, and I thought if I moved anywhere it's going to cause more pain, but I had to go to the side, and I was in the child position going, it was acute pain. Rolling in my back, trying to do something. I couldn't physically, if you told me there's a bomb in the house and it's about to go off, I'll take the bomb. I will happily. I could not move. And then the spasm calmed down, but I'm lying on the floor that's going, if I move, am I going to go to spasm again? What's going to, I'm scared to move. So very slowly, using all my upper body strength to not engage the lower back at all. It's a real case of like one hand there, really using the tricep, bringing the hand around, and then using every other muscle apart from the lower back to try and get, and trying to figure out how I balance myself up to get one leg over and then twist myself up so I could crawl to the bedroom. Oh, amazing. So I crawled to the bed, and I crawled onto the bed. I was like, oh, that was not good. So we called NHS 24, got some stronger pain meds, some diazepam and some other ones, can't remember. And thought, right, cool, take them, everything will be hunky-dory. So took them, rested, thought, right, okay, let's 2 spasms, let's hope that's all over. And then my wife came upstairs, and I was like, yeah, I think the diazepam's working, I think it's all good. And then while she was there, bah! And the word writhing around is what I was doing. I was on the bed, I was like, trying to be in this position, trying to be in this position, and you're literally almost having to throw yourself into position because you can't engage your back, so you have to throw yourself into another position, hoping that whatever's going to happen, the spasm's going to stop. And it just wasn't stopping. I was just like, my wife's at the side of the bed going, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. I'm like, And what I did do is I got my massage gun, and I was like, while in apps, I was just like, bah! Like jamming the massage gun into my back to try and get that to do something, anything. Nothing was stopping it. And then I could just feel after about another 15 seconds, like it ceased. And I was like, and then I'm in this position going, I can't move. If I move, it's going to go into spasm again. So I had to just stay there for about half an hour. And then after about half an hour, I was like, okay, I'm just going to move that leg there, and then there, and then I'm just going to stay in the bed like this. When I stayed like that, I was like, I can't get to the toilet or anything. So we've got a thing for if we go camping with the kids, a thing called a pee-wee. So I was like, I'm going to have to pee into, it's like a bottle. I'm going to have to pee into a bottle until this subsides or something. And this was about 7 o'clock at night. And our wife was like, we need to call we need to call NHS 24 again, because the pain meds that you've taken clearly haven't worked. It's got worse, you've gone into more spasm, and my wife said she's never seen me in so much kind of pain, or anybody in pain. My wife was saying she's got PTSD from this. And I was like, yeah, do you know what, I'm quite keen for like an ambulance to come along, because I can't walk, I can't go to the toilet. If I need to do poo, what's going to happen? If I sneeze, what's going to happen? Unbelievable amounts of pain. So anyway, finally got through NHS 24, got through a consultant, got through to the doctor. The doctor then said, yeah, we'll get you an ambulance. The ambulance will be a 1-hour ambulance. 8 hours later, the ambulance turns up in the morning, which was shocking. So the ambulance guys come into the room, they give me the gas and air, and I'm like, gas and air does nothing for lower back pain. It makes your head fuzzy. Like, oh yeah, you'll feel fuzzy and you feel great. And I'm like, no, my head, I feel a wee bit drunk in my head, but it's not doing anything for the pain in the back. So they said, right, okay, well, let's walk you down to the ambulance. So got out, and so I was like, okay, off the bed, and I had to get them like holding onto their shoulders, get them to be standing, because if I stood up straight, I was okay, but it's the moving from side to side, so the whole kind of other muscles having to use to get up. I was like, good, walked down the stairs, sucking on the gas and air, because everything's still really tight. It wasn't spasming, but it was super tight. Then got into the ambulance and said, right, do you want to sit down? I'm like, I don't think I can sit down. I was like, can I have the bed? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, can I have the bed so it's fully flat? And then I sat on the side of the bed, and then it went spasm again. So while the ambulance is outside my house, I'm on all fours on the floor of the ambulance going, I was like, what is going on here? It was like an explosion going on in my back. There was no way to get away from it. There's nothing like I could rub or anything. And I was like sucking on the gas and air, and I was like, oh, okay, the spasm's gone, quick, oh, get on the bed. And I almost like jumped onto the bed to try and get away from the pain, and just like lay there in the child pose, holding onto a bar, so whenever the ambulance goes around a corner, I'm not flopping around, because every speed bump, every corner the ambulance went round, I was like, Anyway, long story short, amazing levels of pain, unlike I've ever experienced in my life. And I saw the physio yesterday, and they kind of explained it all very well to me. So because I've had such serious back issues in the past with the cauda equina, it's almost like the brain, the kind of the reptilian brain, is on high alert. Yeah, it's on high alert. So any sort of movement or twist that could potentially be causing damage puts your back into spasm to stop you from doing more potential damage. So got an MRI scan very quickly. Thank you very much for the NHS. I said, there's just a minor obtrusion from one of your discs. It's not that big a deal. I'm like, oh, fantastic. And though I wasn't getting pain down my legs, it wasn't sciatica, it wasn't pushing hard on the nerve. It was clearly just a massive overreaction from the pain sensors, from the muscle sensors, from the muscles contracting, causing pain, which causes more contraction, which causes pain, which is like this super spasm that was going on. And because I've had that issues in the past, that's what caused it to kind of repeat spasm and be hyper spasming. Not just like, oh, got a little bit of a twinge. It wasn't a twinge. It wasn't a strained muscle. It was a hyper spasm. Probably the way I can describe it. And I've effectively been bedbound with was it Oromorph, morphine, diclofenac for the anti-inflammatories, paracetamol and all that kind of stuff. And just each day relearning how to walk. So today I've managed to do 800 steps outside. And walking down the stairs. Once I'm up, it's all good. But then the physio was like, yeah, you should be doing, like, the physio was saying, you're not going to cause any more damage. Because there's no damage. It's literally just a pain sensor. So like he's like, yeah, you need to work on not so much core stability, because I've got that from my exercise, but core mobility. So not necessarily strength or stability, but mobility. So I need to work on mobility, and that's a lot of kind of going from this position into that position, and even something which I thought was scary, being up like this and doing those kind of twists, which I just couldn't do at all. But yeah, just quite an eye-opener of just the sheer level of pain that I had from that. And I think possibly more than, anybody that has a normal back twinge or a back spasm or chronic back pain, because there was damage in the past, the nerves, the central nervous system is on more of a high alert to anything like that. But effectively the doctor was like, yeah, there's no actual damage there, there's nothing really wrong. So get working on your hot water bottles, your Shakti mat, your gentle physio. Get those cramped muscles uncramped and get walking. Walk as much as you can. And my wife was like, is it because you was doing heavy weights at the gym? And I was like, I wasn't doing heavy weights at the gym. It's like, yeah, but you lift extreme weights. And the physio was like, no, that's great. That's great that you've been lifting weights at the gym. And my wife was like, no, but he's doing really heavy weights. I was like, I've been doing farmers carry and stuff. They're like, yeah, that's great. No problem. Get back to that as soon as possible. I was like, I like that attitude. I like that the doctor was like, my wife was like, oh yeah, he was skiing, he was going off the ski jumps and he's like bang into the ground. They're like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you'll be back to that, no problems. And so my wife was like, no, he shouldn't go to the gym. He shouldn't do workouts. He should be skiing. He should be rock climbing. And the physios were all just like, no, get back to it as soon as you can. Go for it, no problems. So that was a relieving advice from the physios. They weren't at any point saying, oh yeah, stop doing everything. They're like, no, get back to it. So it's just a full week so far of rehab from a back spasm, from multiple back spasms, which gas and air and diazepam had no effect on. So yeah, there's a little update. I wonder if you've ever had these updates, had these situations after back surgery going on there. But whew, what an experience. What an experience. And also, even for my wife, she was like, I never want to experience that again. Very, very different pain. But every time when I was suffering the pain, it's like, I'm not having the pain down my leg, down my calf, into my foot from the sciatica. So I was almost thankful of the pain that I was in, that it wasn't sciatica, because sciatica is still level 10 long-term pain. This back spasm was level 12 acute pain. Just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, there you go. Bye-bye.